I was wondering if you wanted to wake Albert up today.
Oh my goodness, can I please wake Albert up?
Yes, I'll get him. Okay.
Albert, my sleepy head, it's time to wake up. Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Oh my gosh, how are you?
Good. I'm so happy to see you.
I'm so happy to see your beautiful face.
Welcome to the Growing Show.
This is the growing show.
And you're also the person that's making this show a talk show. Have you ever thought about that? Like you're the very first person to make this a talk show because every day my friend Zach calls me after he sees the show and he goes, "It's not a talk show. There's no one talking to you on this show. It's Zach.
It's a talk show.
It's a talk show." Well, how do we know each other? I mean, I think we can start there for the people that are watching this.
Well, you were my drum major. You were Miss Amazing Isabel. And I was like, I want to be like her. Yeah, we met in high school and you were fabulous. And I just was so inspired by you every day, as I still am.
Wow, you truly were all that and more. I love seeing you after I graduated. And even like, well, we were drum majors together for a year, weren't we?
We were. That's
Yeah, we
crazy.
had overlap. We had overlap.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, you still inspire me to this day too. I just wanted
Like,
to. I'll say to the audience is welcome to the Growing Show. We're here today as a show of growth and development as a human being. If that's something you're interested in, you can subscribe. You don't have to. It's not a mandatory thing. For those of you joining us, welcome. It is so good to have you here, and thank you for being with me as we get to share Oshūn's story. It's just such a delight and pleasure to be here, not only with Oshūn, but with all of you.
okay. I also want to do one more thing. The pronunciation of my name.
Yes.
It is actually Oshūn.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
I said that multiple times on the show. I'm so sorry.
I think you only said it one time, maybe twice, but
Okay.
It's totally okay.
Yes, that's so kind. Thank you for telling me that. I totally should have asked. Oshūn.
Oshūn. Like oh shoot with an N.
All right. Well, should we introduce the snack that we're sharing tonight?
We should. I'm so excited.
Something that we like to do here on the show is share a snack with viewers like you. And tonight, Oshūn suggested this snack, and I was so excited. Let's do a drum roll, shall we?
Drum roll.
The snack is yogurt.
Woohoo! Well, silly question. What kind of yogurt are you eating?
This is a great question. So I'm eating Greek vanilla. I don't know if you can see this. I put some chocolate chips in there. Oh my.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yum, yum.
Yeah. What yogurt are you eating?
I am eating Yoplait raspberry flavored. I've been in a really like strawberry, raspberry, cherry kind of mood lately.
Yoplait, if you're listening, sponsor us. Sponsor Oshūn. Thank you. Okay, if you want to get a snack with us today, we're going to give you some time to do that now. You can get yogurt, you can get ice cream, you can get something with chocolate, you can get something with raspberry in it. And here's some time to go get that now.
I'm excited. I'm
Mhm.
nervous to be vulnerable with you on the show.
Right.
Telling my story is newer.
This is a really risky encounter. This is going to an audience that like neither of us can really control, and so I just wanted to ask how you're doing with that.
Yeah. I talked to my mom about everything. She's my
Yeah.
best friend. She knows that I'm here with you on the growing show, and
Yeah.
what an amazing experience and opportunity this is. However, when I was, contemplating on like, what is my moment of growth? My mom was like, just share your story, Oshūn. Just share your story. And I was like, Mom, it's going on the internet. So I guess how I'm doing is at first I was really nervous. Like
Mhm.
my story, and
Yeah.
that's huge. That's me, and people are going to hear that and hopefully relate in some sort of aspect. Now I'm just super pumped. I'm really excited to share my story and be another voice for those individuals that can't speak up for themselves. I'm excited. So as your first guest on your
Mhm.
show, besides Albert,
Yeah.
you're kind of opening up your audience to the queer community.
Mhm.
And that's huge. You asked how I'm doing, but how are you doing?
Yeah.
It's not only vulnerable for me, it's vulnerable to put this out on your show.
I mean, that's so kind of you to ask how I'm doing. I mean, in this scenario, I'm ready. I'm still trying to figure out how it'll come out on the show. Tonight, like, is your like I want to uplift your voice tonight, but
Mhm.
like this show stands staunchly with the LGBTQIA plus community. I think it's fitting that the first talk show is a moment of support and holding for the queer community. That's really important to me.
And by you giving your audience this opportunity, that's so brave, Isabel. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it's beautiful, and I'm just so happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm also really excited. Like I changed this today. It says seek discomfort. That's where growth happens. I thought about it particularly
Mm.
for people that are uncomfortable with the queer community. And I don't think there's very many of those people that watch the show, but there are some. And so I think something that's really important with this show is gently challenging people. I think about videos. That's a very like a good way to do it too, because people are able to sit with themselves and they don't need to react right away. So I'm really excited too. This is an opportunity to gently, I think, challenge people and call people to consider ways that they can grow to be more loving and grow to be more compassionate and grow to be more bold in supporting people that don't share their experiences. Thank you for this gift. I'm going to say it 1,000 times. I am. I'm going to say it 1,000 times.
It's okay. I appreciate it. I'm gonna
Mm,
probably do the same thing. So
mhm. Yeah. Okay. Well, do you feel ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Let's hear
I'm ready.
the first ever live story on the Growing Show.
Okay. I am Oshūn Bever, a woman, a Black transgender woman who is learning every single day how to feel comfortable enough to call this body hers. Sometimes I lay in bed and stare at the ceiling, wondering why I was gifted this body, a body that I have to force out of bed each and every morning, a body that I have to have doctors cut into just to be able to look in the mirror, a body where home never truly feels like home. I've been told that I am pretty, but for some reason my brain says, no, you look like a man. This is called dysphoria, a medical mental illness that I struggle to fight every single day. I walk the street checking off this mental list of all the ways I can fight my dysphoria in public: my makeup, my clothes, and my walk. But then I am forced to remember that my height, my shoe size, my hand size, my voice, my jawline, and start to believe the narrative that my dysphoria tells me. The one where I am just a man parading around as a woman. Although I let doctors break my bones and restructure my nerves, although I try so hard just to fit in with every other girl, I, as a transgender individual, will only ever be that, an oddity that is too delusional to believe the truth. It is hard to fight an illness that is constantly putting your body in distress. But it is also a reality that illnesses, although hard to fight, can be cured. I started experiencing dysphoria at the age of 18. I remember looking in the mirror, and as time slowly went on, I no longer recognized the person I was seeing, no longer connected with my own reflection. It was as if this person was inside me screaming to be let out as I analyzed myself in the mirror. I just knew I always was meant to be Oshūn. I had forced her away for 18 long and depressing years. And this is the true narrative, that I was always meant to be a woman. Because when I tried to identify as a man, it was as if the weight of the world was always on my shoulders. Now, I am free because being Oshūn is my authenticity. I started my journey into finding who I really was inside on February 10th, 2019. Authenticity is growth, a journey into showing the world how truly stunning you are inside and out. It's a journey that I am happy to be on for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Thank you.
How was that?
You are so beautiful, my friend. I can almost hear the thank yous from the other side of the camera. Oshūn is always been you. What is something you really learned about yourself and your character? I mean, as you grew up.
Something that I've learned, like personally, just about like through this journey, is that I am really, really, really hard on myself. I have a really strong inner bully, and working on building up my inner cheerleader is something that I need to work on to be more myself and feel more comfortable in my own skin. Because why wouldn't you want to wake up and dance your way out the front door every morning just to be happy, you know? Or
right.
Does that make sense?
It makes a ton of sense. I had two thoughts when you said that. The first is, that's one thing I remember about you from high school, is how much of a cheerleader you were to everyone. So getting to hear you give that gift to yourself when you have been giving it to people for so long is incredible to hear. And the second thing I thought of too is, I mean, you say, like, who doesn't want to wake up and feel like they get to come home to themselves, and who doesn't want to wake up and want to like dance? And so many people have never thought about that because that's been every single day. I just really hope that people consider like the privilege that they have to wake up and feel at home. I am so hopeful to hear your story of you coming home to yourself. I hope you do want to dance on so many days.
I feel very free after reading that. Like this weight was lifted, you know, and I just am able to just talk and be as Oshūn on the Growing Show. You know, I don't have to create some version of myself for the audience. I can just be, because now they know my story, you know?
Yes.
And yeah, just how beautiful is that to be so transparent with you, you know?
Right. You sharing your story allows others to grow. I hope people listen to your story and grow in their hearts. And also, like, I know there's people out there that need to hear you. We all need to live more authentic lives, or hope to live more authentic lives. What advice from your story have you learned to share with other people?
Yeah. These are some really hard questions. No, I love it. And I'm here for it. We need to start being more transparent, period, in general. And what I mean by that is like, if we start, masking ourselves to look and feel and be a certain way in society, we start to lose ourselves, and we have to remember that being honest with ourselves and our emotions and our feelings and the way we look some days and just who we are, we just need to just express it, and just let it be, and I think transparency is where it starts.
Wow. I needed to hear that today. I needed to hear that today. When I'm afraid, I don't act like the same person.
It's very easy not to, I think we just kind of push it away, and deal with it later. But the reality is later never comes. When are we going to deal with who we are inside?
Do you ever think about the generation that will come after you?
I do. And, I get really excited. I just hope the things that we're talking about on the Growing Show are natural for them. Like they are just transparent and honest and loving, accepting, and just all of those wonderful, beautiful things, because humanity is beautiful.
Absolutely. In every single one of its forms. It is beautiful. This is something that like you don't need to talk about. You do not owe me this conversation, but particularly being a Black trans woman, there is a lot that comes with that. And does that play into the dysphoria?
Honestly, I am comfortable talking about it. I love to share. I think it does. The things I mentioned in my narrative, whether it be, my voice, my jawline, my height, et cetera, whatever. The things that I can't physically control or change or whatever, my dysphoria like pinpoints, and I feel this immediate distress. And maybe it's because of where I live. I live in a predominantly white town, where we call home. So there's not a lot of POC here, and I think that does play into my dysphoria, because then I start to think about like, well, if I was just this race or this race, maybe I'd be prettier, or I'd fit in with the rest of the girls because they don't have the chin that I have, or you know what I mean? It just really silly things that my inner bully will attack me for not being able to control.
Right. Now I'm free because being Oshūn is my authenticity. You should be a singer-songwriter.
I am.
I know.
I released my first studio album just May, of 2021.
Wow. And what's the album called?
It's called Why.
Why?
Yeah.
Is there a certain reason you called it that?
Yeah. It's about a really traumatic breakup experience that I had. Fell really hard for this boy, and he ended up not feeling the same way. I wrote the album and was able to release it, and how therapeutic and cathartic that was. It was like I wrote a letter and I actually got to share my voice. It's like just this big release. It's really cool to write music and be able to share it and just
I think that's such a beautiful way to process. People go through life white knuckling their anger and white knuckling their resentment and their bitterness. I think that example of you releasing that is like, what a witness to what like the human spirit can do. Is the song that you're sharing on the show today, is it from that album?
It is actually not from the album.
Okay.
I've been working on this song for about a year or so. And since we're talking about authenticity and my dysphoria and my narrative and things like that, I was like, this song, I feel like would fit so perfectly. It's heavy. I know that's one way to put it. It's a very heavy and vulnerable piece of work, but I think it fits perfectly in today's episode. So
right. Full disclosure, I cried in the car to your song today.
Oh,
there was this part where you were like, give me love. And I was like, everybody wants love, you know? I was like,
Yeah,
that is what we were made for, like what we were made to do. But it was what we were also like made to receive. The way that you sang it, I was like, you recognize that human need, you recognize that dignity in you
love.
that makes you cry out. I can't wait for people to hear this song today.
I'm so excited, and I'm so excited that it's going to be first heard on your show. Like, that
What?
is,
I didn't
yeah,
realize that. I
yeah, no, it's not out anywhere else. You are the first person to have heard the finalized, mastered, produced version of this song, and so will the audience. The audience gets an experience, a gift of
wow.
being the first to hear it. So I hope
Oh,
everything and more.
we are so lucky, growing show audience. Oh, okay. Did you produce it as well? Did you
I
do the
did.
mix?
Yes.
Ooh,
So
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 good.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Having the funds to go to a studio, like a well-established studio or company, um,
Mhm.
to work on your own music is not something that I currently can do. But I'm so invested in creating music. It's my way of cathartic release and sharing my voice, that I just dove headfirst in. I bought a piano, and I bought this microphone and the equipment, and so I produce and sing and play, all everything that you hear. So
Wow.
it's all me.
Yeah. When you all hear this song, you will be amazed of all of the heart and work and how talented you are. Like you're doing everything. It's all you. Is there a way that people could support you financially?
I haven't really figured it out.
Yeah.
I put my Venmo up there, and if you go find me on Spotify, just my first and last name, Oshūn B. I'm on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, TikTok,
Yes.
everything. But this is so important. And hear me when I say this, please, growing show audience. When you listen to any singers or any musician's work, don't just like listen to it. Take the time to like that song, like physically tap the like button on that song, because
Right.
what it does is creates revenue. Like, you're sharing that song, and the more likes you get, the more people that are listening. So that is the way you can support me, just going to listen and liking and following.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And all of Oshun's information, Spotify, Amazon, Venmo, ways that you can like and share are in the show notes below. Please, while you're listening to the song, after you listen to the song, look through the show notes down below and see how you can support Oshūn. So important to help young artists, new artists, rising artists. So all of that is down below. You said something that is so powerful, that when you listen to something, when you hear something, do something about it. What a way to live.
I think that goes, both ways. Like, whether you like it or even dislike it, like, it's okay to dislike something. Do something about it. Like, I would rather have that knowledge of knowing how many like dislikes I have on something,
Mhm.
rather than no information at all. Because
Yeah.
then how am I supposed to grow? What I want the listeners to take away, to hold from the song, would be that time where they felt like they were so just, their heart was on their sleeves. They were just so vulnerable, and it just felt so heavy, and all they wanted was love. That's it right there. That's it. A
Yeah.
time where you really wanted love.
Do you want to introduce your song to the audience?
Yeah. uh, hey, well, this is Autopsy by Oshūn B. Enjoy.
Tear out my organs, vocal cords to start. No more rhythm for this tainted heart. Give me love and fill me with that fluid. Make me whole again. Nobody identification. No more rhythm for this tainted heart. Enter postmortem tears when the funeral starts. Painted fingers, tiara on her head. Death's not for beginners. Mortuary's her last bed. Autopsies, necropsies. Autopsy, necropsy. Give me love and fill me with that fluid. Make me whole again. Nobody
Thank you, Oshūn, for being the first guest on the Growing Show and a huge gift to me and to everybody that's listening.
Thank you, Isabel, and The Growing Show for having me as the first guest and letting me be so vulnerable here. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I'm your host, Isabel, and I may not know much,
But this has been The Growing Show.